As much as it is deep and rough, this land does not easily welcome people to walk on it. I met with the people of the mountains who lived in the highest place in Zhejiang for hundreds of years, cultivating wisdom and faith. I saw a worldly sword produced by their sweat and effort. I got a chance to see the Xitang sword. Now I'm on my way to search for a large stream that has been flowing through this land for a long time, giving birth to a variety of traditions and unique cultures. A 1,000-year-old waterway has been flowing throughout Zhejiang. The scenery of life that has dwelled along this water will soon gradually appear before us. In the past 20 years, I have taken this flight dozens of times while studying Chinese culture. I have been to many places in China, but will I ever get to learn all of China, even if I devote my entire lifetime? Here in this place, I can get one step closer in learning all about China. There are countless streams that flow between the mountains in China. The restless journey of the water flows throughout the Chinese land as the source of life for living things and in creating various civilizations. This place is known to have had its first signs of civilization since the Shang dynasty in BC. Badu is known to be one of the regions that benefit most from the water. After you cross the stone bridge that connects the village to the outside world, the first thing you see is the village waterway. The waterway that flows connected through the whole town dates back to more than 100 years. Although the residents have the convenience of having a faucet inside their homes, they still come out to the waterway to do their laundry and even to wash their dishes. As you can see in the way the waterway is still used by the residents, Badu is a village that has a long history. Even the houses where the residents live were built during the Ming and Qing dynasties. There's a sweet smell coming from somewhere. There is a woman in the street making tofu. As China is the country where tofu originated, every region has its own technique of making tofu. She says laying pine needles under the tofu and continuously turning it over as it steams for a few days will allow for the scent of the needles to permeate into the tofu. I taste the tofu to find out how the Badu tofu tastes.
참 맛있습니다 이거. 일단 很好吃的. 아주 부드럽고 부드럽고 달콤한 이런 맛이 납니다.
不一样的，是不是啊？
두부를 많이 만져서 누렇게 변색이 되었습니다.
一直熏，一直熏，先是洗掉了，就洗得更滑。
The great flavors of any country must come from the fingertips of its women.
谢谢你，
不用谢。
谢谢。
As I walk around the village after saying goodbye to the woman, I spot a crowd of people parading as a group. Everyone seems to be out watching this spectacle. It must be an important village event. The clothes and each movement of their dancing are unique and unusual. I become curious about this event that fills the street in the morning of a weekday and decide to follow the line into the village square.
今天这有什么日子呢？这么热闹呢？
今天我们就是有一个庙会，我们赶庙会。
Guan Yu was a general during the Three Kingdoms period and a representative hero of China. The residents of Nian Badu have set June 24th on the lunar calendar as Guan Yu's birthday and hold a festival in celebration of his birth. Not only does it celebrate the birth of Guan Yu, the people also pray for the village's well-being and happiness. If you look at the characters that appear at the festival every year, you can guess what they wish for.
"我们这个地方哈，这个山区了，山多，地多，那水少。那我们呢，这些都是在水上的东西，这些全部都在水上，是吧？然后我们搞这个角色呢，也多就是代表性的。那我们也就是期盼老天爷会给我们带来雨。"
This shrine built for Guan Yu is filled with tributes. Just as the saying, "Where there is a Chinese person, there is Guan Yu." Guan Yu is a figure who has greatly influenced the Chinese people. It became a popular belief during the Song dynasty. Nian Badu is a controlled cultural area that believes in Guan Yu. A performance begins. It's a Chinese traditional mask show where they exchange their masks. The residents perform the face-changing act on Guan Yu's birthday in front of his shrine. There's a special reason in doing so. I meet with the performers who just finished their act.
像关帝庙嘛，也可以说我们是作为他手下嘛啊。那么在这个变脸嘛，以前是战争上的一种，像比如说双阳公主里面的，古时候有面具傩舞啊，戴面具傩舞的表演。那么现在我们演绎到舞台上或者寺庙里面呢，就作为一种面具，不是纯粹那种呆板的那种面具，我们有脸部变化，像正脸，就冰的正脸、红脸，英雄人物，像关帝老爷的啊。
What is this? The performance begins before I can calm myself from the surprise. Those things Tong Zhen has in his mouth are boar's teeth. He makes different facial expressions as he places them in and out of his mouth. It's completely different from the mask-changing act we just saw. This unique act is also a traditional performance that can only be seen in Neon Badu.
아주 날카롭습니다. 이거. 사람 찔릴 정도 날카롭네요.
This is my first time seeing boar's teeth up close.
这也是变脸的一种呢。
里面有吧，
其他地区
也有
变脸是
也有，就是异曲同工。我们这边比较丰富
比较丰富的啊。
After the performance, I make my way to the shrine. I discover another dedication made for Guan Yu.
간우는 원래 전쟁의 신으로서 숭배되었다가 훗날 영역이 크게 확대되어서 재물의 신, 병을 고쳐주는 신, 신의 영역으로 성격되었다는 것은 저 위에 현판 글자를 보면 잘 알 수가 있습니다. 중의 천추, 간우를 상징하는 충성, 어리가 천추, 천년 동안 간다. 저 글자에서 우리의 간우가 얼마나 민간에서 숭배를 받고 있다는 것을 잘 알 수가 있습니다.
Guan Yu formed brotherly ties with Liu Bei and Zhang Fei and devoted his entire life for his lord. He is a symbol of devotion and loyalty. There is said to be over 30,000 shrines dedicated solely to Guan Yu all over China. There is probably no other figure in Chinese history who is loved more and revered more than Guan Yu. The hero from the Three Kingdoms period receives more after his death than during his life. The faith of the people in Guan Yu makes me think of many things. Perhaps happiness is not found in rare and precious items, or even in riches, but it is found in the root of the heart. Now I'm making my way south to where the streams of Zhejiang flow past Neon Badu, all the way to Hangzhou. People often think of water when they think of Zhejiang. This is because of the famous lake located in the capital city of Zhejiang, Hangzhou. I'm standing before Zhihu Lake that attracts 20 million visitors yearly from all over the world. The wide body of water so big that you cannot see across it makes me feel as if I am looking at a calm sea.
항저우의 랜드마크 수호입니다. 수호는 중국 미인 스시와 비견할 정도로 아주 아름다운 곳입니다.
Due to its surpassing beauty, Zhihu has inspired Bei Juyi, Su Shi, and other writers and visitors to express its beauty through poems and paintings. Now that I'm here, I can understand why the Chinese say, Zhejiang's pride is Hangzhou, and Hangzhou's pride is Zhihu.
杭州呢就比作是西子湖、西施，而西施呢又是作为我们浙江人，在浙江诸暨的，所以说我们就作为杭州的话就说为是西子湖。然后呢，中国的话有36个湖，称为是西湖。当然最美的一个呢，我认为呢就是杭州这个西湖了。
I decide to go into Zhihu Lake myself.
这是游览西湖的船吗？
对。
可以进去吗？
可以。
谢谢。
好，上船小心一点。
Even the boat has its own classical grace. At last, the boat enters Zhihu's embrace. As I sit back and enjoy the scenery, it reminds me of a poem Xu Shi wrote while thinking about Zhihu Lake.
水港惦念秦方好，山色空梦雨亦急。一把西湖比西子，淡妆浓墨总相宜。
The reason why people from China and all over the world visit Zhihu Lake is for the beautiful scenery, but it is also for the beautiful legends that dwell throughout the lake. The lantern is one of them.
소위의 10대 풍광 중에 하나입니다. 중국 인민폐 일원에서도 바로 이런 아름다운 풍경을 그려 놓았습니다.
It is said to demonstrate its distinctive beauty each season, and that it is filled with different colors each time. I will look forward to my next time.
谢谢你。
下山小心一点啊！
先生，谢谢你，谢谢。再见，谢谢你，谢谢，再见呢。
Now I'm going to a place where I can see yet another different side of Hangzhou. It is an old road that was supposedly built approximately 1,500 years ago. On Kinky Lane, you can see the look and customs of the Qing dynasty, when the city flourished the most. I wonder why there are so many people crowded together. They are making traditional taffy. Hitting it with the rice cake mallet is very similar to the way we make our traditional taffy in Korea. A long journey in a foreign land makes you crave these kinds of snacks. I find them just in time.
吃的，尝尝看。谢谢，谢谢。不要客气啊。
안에 땅콩이 버무려 되어 있어 달짝지근하고 고소합니다.
The old road is filled with the bustling sound of a typical Chinese street and the fun of tasting street food. I look for an old tea house in the center of the city, but there are already many people there. There is a famous tea at this tea house that goes back 7 generations. Longjing tea is known as one of the 10 finest teas.
是你们那个用太极拳要倒茶的？
对，是的。
哦，是吗？
对。
可以上去吗？
啊，可以的，来里面请来。
The kettle looks a little unusual. He pours the tea water while showing captivating martial arts movements. This is the representative martial arts of China, Tai Chi. Using Tai Chi to pour tea is a tradition this tea house has had for many generations. During the Tang and Song dynasties, Tai Chi was incorporated into serving Longjing tea, which was famous enough to be served to the emperor. For this reason, this tea house has become a famous tea house on Kinky Lane. But I'm told it's not all just for fun. The most important part of the tea is the temperature of the water. This long kettle is used to set the water to the perfect temperature. It's like killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Pretty cool.
比如说中国呢，在古时候很多礼仪方面都会体现茶，像我们的尊长兄弟的情谊，还有说朋友之间的义气，都是以茶体现出来的。
Hao Liu Xin joins me since I'm traveling by myself. Just as the people who fill up and empty out their lives by drinking tea, I try to wash away the fatigue of travel as I enjoy a cup of tea. On my journey of following the streams flowing through Zhejiang, now I head to the 1,000-year-old waterway located in the northern city of Hangzhou, called Xitang. I arrive in Xitang, a water village built along a waterway. The scene of early morning in the water village is a privilege only a diligent traveler can witness. It was worthwhile to start my day earlier than usual. The Jiangnan region of China, which indicates an area south of the Yangtze River, has few water villages that were built alongside a waterway. Among those villages, Xitang, located in Zhejiang, is chosen as one of the top 4 water villages in the Jiangnan region. The landscape around the canal is very beautiful and visited by many tourists. This canal was built during the Warring States period, which dates back approximately 1,300 years ago. In other words, it's a water village that has survived 1,000 years. Every house has its own dock for its boats, and practically every household owns a boat. This 1,000-year-old waterway that has been in the history of the village was the only way people from nearby areas could travel to other regions. The people did not know how long their journey would take, and they needed a place to rest. This is a reason why this village developed.
이곳은 양장은 하루 지역이라서 서로가 그물망처럼 촘촘하게 연결되어 있습니다. 강남에서 생산되는 많은 물자들을 효과적으로 운송하는 데서는 말을 이용하는 것보다 서로가 몇십 배의 효과를 가지고 있습니다. 강남에서 생산되는 많은 물자를 저 멀리 북경까지 운반하는데 서로가 가장 적합합니다.
This path opened and became the way to life for the people of old China. An old fisherman passes by with cormorants on his boat. It's a cormorant fishing boat that uses cormorants to catch fish.
Yeah.
Mr. Wu Ho has been fishing with cormorants every day for 30 years on this canal. He says the canal is narrow, and cast nets can get in the way of other boats, so he uses cormorants to catch fish.
와, 갑오지 무게가 상당히 무겁습니다. 가까이서 갑오지를 보는 것은 처음입니다. 갑오지 부리가 상당히 날카롭고 검은틱틱한 것이 상당히 물고기를 잘 잡을 것 같습니다.
Cormorant fishing is famous in Korea, so I didn't expect to see it here.
물고기 많이 잡아라!
Cormorant fishing in China goes back 1,000 years. It utilizes the cormorant's ability to catch fish, much larger than their own body size. But Mr. Wu ties something around the bird's neck. It is a process that can't be left out before the fishing begins. Only birds older than 2 years old can catch fish. Before that, they get trained by Mr. Wu. When he hits the water with the oar, it's a sign that fishing has begun. The cormorants dive into the water. Surprisingly, not long after, one emerges out of the water with a big carp in its mouth. Mr. Wu quickly takes the fish away before the bird swallows it. Soon, the other cormorants come out of the water with fish in their mouths. Their skills are more impressive than I expected.
이렇게 크다란 물고기를 잡았습니다. 잉어입니다, 잉어.
下午3点，
下午的
到下午3点钟吃，
下午3点钟
吃一顿，
吃一次，
一天吃一顿，
最小的
Mr. Wu doesn't forget to thank the birds for their hard work. He saves the big fish to be sold at the market, but he feeds the smaller fish to the cormorants. I extend my last goodbye.
一天吃。
물고기 많이 잡고 잘 살아. 아버지 안녕.
With the beautiful scenery of the water village in the background, the old fisherman and his cormorants create another beautiful scene, that in the water village.
우리나라 바다에서도 야생 가마우치가 있는데 이곳에서는 잘 훈련된 가마우치가 있습니다. 강남의 풍부한 수로에 따라서 어민들이 이렇게 가마우치를 이용해서 잡는 풍속이 상당히 이채롭습니다.
Like yesterday and today, and as life continues into tomorrow, the people remain in this land of deep roots. The sun sets on their old foundation. And the lives of the people continue in this place, where traces of the 1,000-year-old waterway remain. People here know the importance of treasuring things the longer it continues. It is because of them this 1,000-year-old waterway is able to gain life and flow once again. This was an adventure in search of finding the hidden treasures of China. The treasure I found was the beautiful nature and even more beautiful people.